old, fat, and stupid motorcycle adventures. Join me, won't you? So rolled out that morning on the interstate, rolled out of the Atchafalaya rest area, which was fantastic, and I highly recommend you at least stop there, if not camp there. Apparently nobody cares, especially if you camp in one of the gazebos, which is what I did. But yeah, rolling across into Baton Rouge here, and so I just basically blazed across the state pretty much as fast as I could go with a little bit of exploring, and saw this wildlife refuge that turned out to be on Lake Pontchartrain. I don't really look at the maps while I'm riding, so it's kind of hard to tell, but I've found out a lot of things as I'm looking at the map while I'm sitting around. So I'm standing out looking across Big Branch Marsh National Wildlife Refuge. Lots of fishing going on in between here and the rest of the world, but I was just packing all my camera gear up and looking across the lake, and I couldn't really believe what I was seeing. It's like, wow, there's a really big city over there sticking out of the water like that. And I had to actually pull my phone out and go, dang, is that New Orleans over there? Damn sure is. That is the city of New Orleans over there. You can't really see it real well here, but well, at least I can't see it. Can't see it in this camera. It's not focusing, but that is the silhouette of the city of New Orleans across the lake. Always seems that I'm just I don't feel like I'm riding at all. I feel like, I get up at noon and stop riding at 3. It really feels weird. I guess I'm more used to hanging out in one place for a while, and I haven't found that place that I want to hang out for 2 or 3 days, other than Possum Kingdom. And to be honest, that was probably a 2-day stop. Spend the night, spend the whole night, spend another night, get up the next morning. But yeah, the rain. I don't know. I guess I'm just not finding that magical, peaceful place with no people and peace and quiet and spectacular beauty. I mean, I can hang out here, except there's been 10 people out here since I hadn't been out here 20 minutes, and there's been 10 people circling through. So not just that, there's no trees to hang my hammock, and I don't know, I'm too close to the lake to think gator bait to be in a tent. Yeah, I don't know if gators would attack a tent or not. Anyway, I'm gonna keep moving, see if I can find a better spot. I don't know, these national spots are pretty appealing. I saw the sign. I just turned off. I was like, I need a break. I need to get into the woods before I get into the next city. I'm trying to think of what the next city is. It's not a big one. I'm getting close to the Mississippi border, so Slidell, that's what it is. So next big city heading east is Slidell. I don't want to get into Slidell. It's not that big of a place, but anyway, I'll find a spot in between here and Mississippi, I'm sure. Sun's going down. I got lots of beer and some snacks, and I've already had dinner, so that's taken care of. Next stop, the unknown. So I rolled into this wildlife refuge thinking that there would be places to camp, but there was nothing but marsh, so I headed north and found this amazing spot behind a water tower, which worked out pretty good. All right, so I'm just west of Slidell, Louisiana. Not too far off the interstate, maybe, I don't know, 3-4 miles. But what's interesting about this spot tonight is I am in a neighborhood development, it looks like. Sure. The grass is mowed, but the most interesting thing is this guy. This is where I'm staying tonight. right beneath a water tower for this new development. And I'm just walking around now trying to find any flaws in my stealthing technique. But really importantly, I've got a new technique. I've used this before, but it's very rarely do I use this because I usually pick one or the other. But now I have the stealth tent set up, and you can't see it because there's not a lot of light, but boom, now you can see it. It's basically my tent set up without the fly. I've got my hammock fly on there. And you really can't do this with the tent fly anyway because it's so small. You can't really fly it like I need to do here. My hammock fly, the rain fly for my hammock, is huge. It's a monster. And I got it specifically for this reason. When I first started stealthing, I wanted to hide my bike behind my camp. And if I flew it high enough, and I don't think it's, I've got this fence here, and I'm gonna walk out and show you why I don't think that's gonna be a problem, but you can see the reflections off my jacket that's hanging over the top of my bike, but that's not gonna be a problem, and I'll show you here in a second why that's not gonna be a problem. But I'm liking it so far. So I'm about 15-20 feet off the road, which means I am closer to seeing. Well, I'm closer than anybody. Nobody's going to turn down this road. It's a dirt road. I don't think anybody's going to come down this road because it's dirt. The pavement is around the corner there, but there are also people. It's a roundabout up here. You can almost see some cars going up there, but there's a roundabout and there's some people up there. There's still some construction going on over here on the other side of these woods. So it looks like it's residential on the other side and then maybe commercial on this side. And you can see, well, if I shine the light on there, maybe you can see. Yeah. Business. Yeah, it looks like, I don't know, this may be a big, huge business park. I don't know. Kind of surprised. It looks like a relatively small community, but they've got a hospital down the road in between here and the interstate. And it just doesn't seem like there's that many people out here to have this much development, but maybe they're trying to bring the people. But back to what I was trying to say earlier, this is what it would look like if somebody turned in here and hit this thing with a headlight. But this is going to be a unique spot. I set up here. You might be questioning, you might say, Don, why don't you just set up behind the fence? You wouldn't have had to throw any camo up, you just set the tarp up. Well, there's a narrow strip here. I'm trying to answer that question now. It's a narrow strip on both sides of the road. And really, there's grass over there, but it's still hard. It's hard packed like this gravel that we're walking. It's very hard. But this stuff right here is very plush and very thick. It's like being on carpet. It's nice. In fact, I blew up my ground pad just to give me an added comfort. But this is probably, I could probably easily sleep on this and be very comfortable. Unlike this, and not just that, in between the road and the fence, it's hard packed. So it's hard packed on both sides of the road. Not much soil, not much grass, even though you can see some grass growing. I probably could. Yeah, no, I mean, it was I wanted to be in the grass. I don't think anybody's coming down here. I don't think that's going to be a problem. I don't even think I needed to put the tarp up, but I'm, just in case, I figured I would put the tarp up, and keeps the dew off, and something fun and interesting, a little bit, you know, show you some flexibility if you've got a rain fly like this. You definitely put the bike behind it. All I have to do really to get the bike behind it is just maybe tie off the tarp to the bike, just to the top of the bike, and you know, I'm shooting over the bike, right? Can't see anything. Anyway, just some ideas. I'm gonna start my nightly barley therapy here in a moment, and enjoy the rest of the evening. And I'll see you guys in the morning. Little look around at my accommodations this morning. You still hear that generator running off in the distance. It's very foggy out here. I would say it's a little cool. High 40s, low 50s maybe. Very foggy. It's been very foggy lately. Yeah, I don't know what they're running with that generator over there. I thought maybe it was like some dirt moving equipment when I got here, but it's been running all night. But it did really did not bother me at all. I slept really, really well. If I could sleep next to an interstate, this is yeah. No, I do prefer the quiet of wilderness and birds and wind, but when you're traveling, I mean, I tried to get out yesterday. I tried to get out and wound up in the marsh, at the end of the marsh, and there's nowhere to hang. There was a grassy spot, beautiful grassy spot on a point, but there's no way for me to get my motorcycle over there. So got my clothes drying out, and I knew that was a bad idea last night. It's just I wanted to do something with them, so maybe by the time I break camp they'll be dry. But I will tell you, everything else in here is soaked. Well, not everything else on the outside is soaked. Everything on the inside. I shook some moisture off the tarp into the tent this morning, but other than that, but here's what I want you to see: how much moisture comes down. Because most of the time I've got this tarp set up, or the other rain fly on the tent, you don't see the actual tonnage of moisture. But if you can see this here, there's a little bit of pooling right there. That's how much moisture. It's almost like rain. That's how much. Well, that's how much. That's how much. That's how much. That's how much moisture. Wow, look at that. Yeah, a lot right there. But overall, good experience. I mean, you can see how plush this grass is. I was concerned about the water and mosquitoes. I saw a couple mosquitoes last night, but I did not get bit. I tell you, I didn't really talk about it at the rest stop in the Atchafalaya. There were hundreds, and they were following me around, and I think I only got bit a couple of times because I zipped up pretty hard. Well, actually, I got bit on the forehead, small little tiny bite, and these things were giant mosquitoes. These were carry you off, you know, flying monkey mosquitoes. But yeah, I don't know how I got away with only getting bit twice, because there were hundreds of them. And you would think they got everything else right there. You would think that maybe they would spray, but it's a swamp. I mean, yeah. I got some footage of the pontoon bridge. I hope that turns out well. I didn't get footage of, I don't think I got any footage of the, golly, what was that, 30-mile long levee? The levees were amazing. Riding along the levees were amazing. I didn't really realize it till I was rolling out. So I don't think I got any footage of it, but, you know, just country riding along the swamp and the levees, just miles and miles. And I think this is new. Somebody dropped this out this morning. Well, is that headlights over there? I don't know what's going on up there at the roundabout. It looks like maybe that's a drop-off point. I don't know. I'm trying to speculate. Around the corner, there's a big parking lot. Anyway, That's where I spent the night last night. Yeah, I think, well, look at it now, you can kind of see it doesn't really blend in that well. But I'll take you around. One of my original thoughts was I could get my bike on the other side of the fence. There's this little dip that goes down like a little creek flow, dry creek. I could ride my bike across that and wind up on that tree line over there. It would have been much more visible for people coming this way, but maybe nobody would have looked at it, except it kind of stands out because it would have been square. I would have tied it up to this trees square, kind of like that. It looks like it's out of place. It doesn't jump out at you, but it's out of place. So yeah, well, I don't know what else to say about that. We'll cook up some coffee, maybe break camp here in an hour or so, and then roll on to Alabama. I got to get back, and people are screaming and want me to work, so I got to get back. Now that is a perfect route. Look at that. Folgers morning coffee for the Moto adventurer. I need some jingles, y'all. Who makes music? I keep asking my musical friends to hook me up. Hook me up, my brothers. I need jingles. I got one that hooked me up. He hooked me up with several. I need to reach that guy. I need a jingle. I need somebody that knows how to make a jingle. This video today is brought to you by Folgers Coffee, the true adventurer's path to freedom. I can't imagine going on an adventure without my Folgers in my tummy. I'm gonna jet back to Alabama today. Hopefully be back in the Ham before dark. Well, the Ham, it's where I've lived for the last 20 years, but now I'm in Brookwood, Alabama, which is on the busy highway in the middle of nowhere, in between Birmingham and Tuscaloosa. Yeah, I've got a lot of work tomorrow. I've got a couple people screaming at me they need my help, so I'm gonna go help them. Kind of getting a little bit tired of being on the road. I think it's the cold weather. It's cold at night. It's not as much fun being out in the cold weather. Getting up every morning, like today's fine. It's, you know, just a little bit crisp, which makes me wonder. I was wondering this morning getting up. I have gone to ground many times when I thought, okay, it's going to be too cold to hang. But I'm not really sure that I'm more comfortable temperature-wise on the ground. I'm not really sure about that. It may just be something in my head that I've got that warmth off the ground, because there's been many times in the middle of the night, well, several times, I've rolled off of my ground pad and onto the floor of the tent and gone, whoa, it's cold. Kind of like reaching outside my hammock. Whoo, it's cold out there. Let's not go out there. So yeah, I don't know which is true. I know where I travel is not tundra. Well, most of the time it's not tundra. But I do like the tundra. I totally like the tundra. It's a good camp spot. I kind of wish it was easier. I know part of my adventure, part of the fun, part of the thrill is seeking out these unique spots, finding that interesting camp spot. And without a dual sport, it's insane to take this big lumbering beast with street tires into the woods anywhere to try to find that perfect lakefront camping spot, even though I'm on a lake right now. So the challenge now is to find a comfortable spot that I'm not going to get discovered, that's interesting and unique. Probably the most interesting and unique besides this one was the one in League City, right there in the middle of an intersection, right in people's backyards, right there where every couple of minutes I could have been discovered had I been doing something stupid or not timing my entrance into the woods. That was the big challenge that night, was getting into that little wooded area and not being seen. That was a big challenge. And then everything after that was just doing sensible stuff, not using the white light, not using that torch, building a fire. I didn't build a fire, but that would have been very interesting. The story that did not get told about League City, as I'm drinking coffee the next morning, I haven't done anything to the camp. As I'm drinking coffee, the landscaping crew shows up and starts cutting all around me. I even had one of the landscapers come up and talk to me in his broken English. You come here last night? Yes, I did. You travel? Yes, I do. I can't remember what else I said to him, but he was clearly interested in what I was doing. I think he saw a shiny motorcycle and thought, okay, this guy's not homeless. He's got another story. Maybe he wanted to get the whole story, but he couldn't ask the questions because of his limited grasp of our language. But yeah, that's the story you didn't hear, because I was making coffee. I really wanted to pull the camera out, and I saw the crew pull up. I was like, no, they can't be here. I looked around. I was like, there's nothing wrong with the grass. It looked like it got cut last week. Anyway, they mostly ate some weeds. They did get a one of those big driving power mowers out, hit the big spots. But what's really funny is nobody told them the story that, hey, there's too much water coming down into this spot, and they're riding through this spot on that riding lawnmower and making trenches through this beautiful lawn, this beautifully landscaped little place. And nobody's relaying that information. Hey, maybe we need to turn the water down here in this spot, because you can see it's coming out in the fountain. Maybe it's just a broken pipe. I don't know what the deal was. But all right, it's time to make some more coffee.